They said Emperor Valerius Magnus was once handsome, broad-shouldered, with a laugh that could shake a hall. Now, the only thing shaking rooms was the smell leaking from his sick chamber. By the time physicians lit their incense and stuffed herbs in their nostrils, it was too late. The conqueror of 5 kingdoms, Lord of 10 million souls, was rotting while still alive, and his empire was rotting with him. The first signs were quiet, a fever that lingered. Swelling in his legs, dismissed as the price of a life spent in excess, a sore that refused to heal. Valerius had never listened to warnings, especially from his own body. He drank rare elixirs and swallowed pearl dust, obsessed not with conquest, but with immortality. Then came the boils. Angry, swollen purple things that cracked when he moved, seeping putrid fluid through his robes. Servants fainted while dressing him. Just heat boils, he'd say. I am touched by the sun, not by death. But death had already laid its fingers on him. As the disease spread, his mind worsened. He accused ministers of poison and executed physicians for incompetence. Paranoia took hold. He sealed windows to keep out spirits of decay and banned mirrors after screaming, "An imposter wears my face." During council meetings, he'd ramble from his cushions. The empire is eternal. My body is only a vessel. If it festers, it is because the gods reshape me. That vessel, however, was collapsing. Valerius still had loyalist men more afraid of him than of the plague consuming his flesh. Desperate, the High Council summoned a man known only as Damaris, a hermit physician who treated illnesses others feared. Entering the emperor's chamber, Damaris was stunned. Valerius lay on a reclining throne, his skin a patchwork of rotting tissue, incense curled around him like spirits feeding on the weak. Damaris knelt. "Majesty, your blood is poisoned, your flesh is dying. If you do not let me cut away the dead tissue," Valerius slammed his fist down. "No knives," he roared. "I am whole. I am chosen. You will cleanse me with incense and prayer." Damaris looked at the councillors. Their eyes begged him, "Try anything." But the emperor refused all treatment, calling it witchcraft or treason. "You question my strength," Valerius snarled. "My flesh decays because my spirit is preparing for ascension." The healers left, defeated. The emperor remained in his festering throne room, whispering to shadows. As Valerius deteriorated, the empire collapsed. Border tribes raided undefended towns. Merchants, scholars, and the wealthy fled the capital. Grain stores burned in a riot, but the palace remained a tomb of silence. Servants rotated in terrified shifts, their faces covered with cloth. One boy stumbled out of the chamber, pale and trembling. "He is no longer human," he whispered, before collapsing. Rumors spread. The emperor's flesh was falling off in sheets. He slept sitting up because lying down tore his wounds open. He screamed at night, babbling to spirits only he could see. It happened during the monsoon season. Thunder cracked overhead. Valerius hadn't left his sick throne in 3 days. His attendants found him slumped, mouth open, breath shallow. Around him rose a sickly green vapor of rotting flesh and burned incense. Damaris was summoned one last time. He forced himself not to recoil. The emperor's skin was waxy, his arms mottled with dark, spreading rot. His abdomen had sunken, as if liquefied. "Majesty," Damaris whispered, "your body can no longer sustain you." Valerius opened milky eyes. "Then let my spirit finish what my body cannot." Damaris touched his wrist. The pulse fluttered like a dying bird. "Is there anyone you wish to see?" the healer asked. Valerius tried to speak, but only a choked rattle escaped. The emperor, who believed himself untouchable, finally felt fear. His death was not dramatic. It was slow, wet, and quiet. A single breath rattled in his throat. Another failed to come. When the healer laid his fingers on the emperor's wrist, there was no pulse. "Valerius, Magnus," Damaris announced through the incense haze, "has returned to the earth." The council members did not rejoice or mourn. They simply exhaled. For the first time in months, the palace felt breathable. The emperor's chamber became a battlefield of smoke and prayer. Monks entered with torches and holy salts. It took 3 days to remove the stench. It took 5 to burn every cushion, tapestry, and piece of furniture. The throne itself was dragged into the gardens and set aflame. Some said they saw strange colors in the smoke. The empire survived, barely. Valerius's nephew, a quiet scholar, was crowned. His first decree was simple: all records of the late emperor's sickness shall be sealed. Let not future generations mock him. But people remembered anyway. They remembered the smell, the madness. They remembered how a powerful man, untouched in battle, was devoured not by enemies, but by his own failing flesh. And so began the legend of Valerius Magnus, the mad emperor who rotted alive. A warning whispered through generations: no empire falls quicker than the one rotting from within. Thanks for watching. If you enjoyed this story, be sure to like and subscribe for more tales from history's darkest corners.